Jeffrey's just told an awkward, offensive joke in a group of hot girls, and none of them even got it. That's so cringe. How are you gonna come back from the... Wait, what? What the fuck? He's just doing push-ups. No, Jeffrey, you look like an autist. Don't do that. There's no chance for Jeffrey. Adonis is going up after Joe Rogan in his stand-up comedy nights. Joke after joke, he makes everybody laugh. What an amazing skill to have. And it even works with the ladies. My Adonis, you are a funny one. And everyone's laughing with you, not at you like Jeffrey. I journaled a question that I think you should ask yourself as well, because this will help you to improve your life. And the question was, what kind of conversations do I like? What conversations do I want to foster more of in my life? And the number one answer that I wrote, above things like interesting conversations or ones where I learn about people or they learn about me, the number one thing that I wrote was funny, goofy conversations. The kind of ones where I burst out laughing and I'm almost tearing up with like how funny the conversation is. We're making jokes. If you appreciate those kinds of conversations as well, maybe you don't take yourself too seriously, you can do, but sometimes just with the boys or with your girl, you want to be able to just let loose, laugh like little children, because that's wholesome as fuck. Then this video is going to help you, because I'll explain 3 ways to be funnier. The first way to be funnier, which is probably stopping you, is taking the risk. A lot of being funny is just taking the risk in saying something that either could be funny or could be kind of awkward. You're probably more funnier than you realize, but it's just that you don't take the risk, especially not next to new people that you meet, because it's kind of scary to think, okay, if you tell a joke and they get offended or they don't think it's funny, it's a bit awkward, right? The way that I would navigate this is to think, you know what? If you tell a joke that you genuinely think is funny, anyone who's compatible with you would also think it's funny as well. And if they're not compatible with you, then who gives a fuck if they find it awkward? So let's say you're in the gym and you see a cute girl over there and you're gonna go cold approach her. And in the middle of the conversation, you think of something that you could say which might be funny, but also might like ruin your chances. The most confident version of you is gonna say it, because that risk will actually show you if she's compatible with you in the first place. Now put it this way, right? You might be thinking, oh no, but it's a bit risky. I probably wouldn't, I'd probably just get her number and try and get my dick sucked anyway. But put it this way, look, imagine the version of you that says the joke and she finds it funny and you end up getting together and it's a nice experience and she likes you. But imagine this. Imagine the fearful version of you that doesn't say the joke and then she doesn't reply back to your first message. Imagine if it was the version of you that said the joke that would have made her laugh, and that was the version of you that she could have been into. Imagine losing the girl because you didn't say the joke that popped up in mind that would have showed to her that she has a similar sense of humor to you. So before you start to think like, oh no, don't risk it, don't like say anything that could be perceived as weird. What if you not saying the weird joke would be the reason why people don't like you, because they would have been attracted to that part of you that actually says the joke? Does this make sense? So being the authentic version of yourself, you might go and find the people who are actually into you. When you have this new realization, you realize, wait, I should take this risk all the time, because this is how I'll find if people are actually compatible with me. And I'll tell you the truth, I'll never lie to you, right? Sometimes you'll tell one of these jokes or you'll say something that feels authentic to you and it's fucking cringe and the person doesn't get it and it feels uncomfortable and you're thinking like, oh man, I regret that, I shouldn't have said that. But that just means that this person in front of you is not even compatible with you and they shouldn't be in your life anyway. So have you really lost anything? Take the risk and you'll start to polarize people whether they should be in your life or not. Now the one disclaimer I'll tell you is, don't do this with people who don't necessarily need to be like compatible with you. Like for example, your boss at work or the teacher in school. Telling an offensive joke there can get you into trouble, and you're not trying to do a polarization of like, oh, let me see if me and my teacher are on the same wavelength. Hey teacher, a black guy walks into the bar. Like, don't fucking just randomly try and, tell these risky jokes in a setting where you're not trying to polarize people to see if they're actually compatible with you. The second way to be funnier, and this is one of the most important for me, is to have the right person to bounce back with. This is something my friend Sam says all the time. When me and him are laughing and, we'll compliment each other and say, oh, you're so funny. One of the things things he always says is, he's talking about me and he's saying, I'm funny because I've got you to bounce off with as well. He's a funny guy just in general, in a vacuum, right? But he says that it adds when he has someone that we can bounce off ideas. So if, for example, it was like everyone staring at me, I walk up on a stage and I'm trying to say something funny, like, you know, a stand-up night. That's not really my style. I might be okay at that, but it's not my style. My style is I'm just in a conversation with someone and it's like I'm able to make jokes about what they're saying. I'm able to bring up stuff that they said half an hour ago and bring it back up now, and we're able to mock each other. You bounce off each other in the right way. So it's time for you to find the people that you can do this with. And this is actually, I'm not gonna lie to you, this is how I find employees. This is how I hire people. I go on a call with them and I see, does this side of me come out? Do I actually like working with this person because I'm able to make a joke and they find it funny and then they make a joke as well? Or do I feel like restrained like a fucking corporate rat as if we're working like a proper 9-to-5 job or anything? This is how I figure out which girl to take seriously to date, because I want to be able to tell my jokes and I don't want to have to be where it's kind of awkward. She doesn't get me, she's not laughing at the jokes, or she's not bouncing back. I've met a girl who can crack as funny jokes as I can, but it's not like, you know, like stand up where it's like, oh hey, listen to this joke. No, it's not like that. It's like, it's just in the flow of the conversation where you're able to like mock each other, you're able to imitate what the other person's just said, you're able to just laugh about shit, then you've got inside jokes that you can just say one word and both of you burst out laughing. So you've got to find someone that you can bounce off with. And this is a tricky part because most likely you're just living like a loner, right? Most young guys have got no real friends. The friends that you have in school aren't real friends. They don't even know or care about your goals. They just remember you from school being the little virgin video gamer. If you don't have any real friends, then you might have some guys that you can like bounce off jokes with and stuff, but it's not really the same thing compared to when you have like love for the person. We're in an epidemic of loneliness right now, and if I'm honest, I think a lot of loneliness is just caused by laziness. People are just fucking lazy. Loneliness should only take like 1 week to solve, but people live with it for years because they're just lazy. You can go outside and go make a friend literally within 1 hour from this point right now if you go and speak to 10 people in the gym. But 99.999% of the people watching this will not do it. Or even 100% of the people watching this, little fucking consumers, won't do that. You'll just keep listening to my words, pumping up my ad revenue, thinking, ah, good point. Ah, yeah, like button, scroll to the comments, but you won't take fucking action on it. You want to meet someone that you can like laugh with, that you can joke with, and you can have this amazing experience of life. Motherfucker, you've got to go out and speak to new people. You've got to take that effort. You can't be lazy all your life. You've got like the potential right now. Every time you go to the gym, every time you go to school, every time you're in public, every time that you take some trips and you're about to travel in the next few years, you've got the potential to speak to 10, 50, 100 people to find your people. Most people are so lazy that they take no action in this, and then they wonder like, oh, it's easy for you, I don't have any friends, it's so hard to make friends. It's not. You've just got to go speak to 10 people and you'll find like someone who will be a pretty good friend of yours. It's that easy. Everyone wants to make friends these days. Everyone's just lonely. They're all waiting for like the initiator, the first person to say hello. You can be that person. If you want that like bouncy, funny relationship that like me and Sam have, you need to go out and just speak to new people. You've got to take action, and the best way to do this is to get onto a self-improvement plan where this is all laid out like a workout routine, and that is the Adonis Protocol. It's the top link in the description. It's completely for free. It's an entire course that you can literally just blindly follow that will change your life. You can just go. It's a plan of action to actually become funnier, to get more social, to get more disciplined. Go click the top link in the description right now to go take the Adonis Protocol. The third way to be funnier, and this is a weird one, it's to be selfish. It's to basically just tell jokes and act in the funny way that makes you laugh. Trying to make other people laugh is where the pressure comes from, and that's where it gets tricky. But imagine this. Imagine you're in the conversation and you think of something that would kind of make you laugh. That's what you've got to say. That's what you should be leaning into. If you make yourself laugh, you are going to be perceived as like the funny guy. Now, to some people, they'll think it's weird. They'll think, oh, well, his jokes aren't funny yet again, but they're not compatible with you, so fuck them. But the people who are compatible with you, if you're still trying to make them laugh, that's where like the weird kind of awkward jokes come in. You know, when you say a joke and it's just not funny and like no one laughs and it seems awkward or offensive and people ask you like, what do you mean by that? What do you mean black people are, you know, like what? And that's when it gets like so awkward, right? But if you're just trying to make yourself laugh all the awkwardness goes away and it becomes kind of wholesome. I don't ever try to make anyone laugh. My friend Sam, any person I meet, my girl, I don't try to make them laugh. I say stuff that I think is funny, so I laugh. But because I've filtered through and attracted people into my life that like naturally are attracted to me and like me, whatever I think is funny, they think is funny. Here's the weird, interesting part. This is just like psychological manipulation, right? And this works really well on women. If you are in a strong position, if you are like an attractive, like high status kind of guy, or you can just act like it, if you think something is funny, your girl will too. When your girl really loves you and she really looks up to you and she's in her like feminine energy, you can say something that's barely even funny, but if you genuinely start laughing, she'll just start laughing as well. Girls are like that. Girls will like, they won't even understand what's going on and they'll just like say what you just said. Like they'll just repeat the sentence that you just said over and over. You know, like they'll just do that. They'll like pick up your mannerisms. They'll say the same joke as you. If they see you laughing, they'll kind of smile and laugh too. People who love you will do that. Like if you tell a joke next to your mom and you're like really, really happy, she'll just start smiling next to you, right? It's not like a weird thing. It's like your mom will literally just start like laughing and smiling because you're laughing and smiling. Women who are in love with you and who are in their feminine energy, they like absorb your energy. So if you're having a good time, they're having a good time. You could test this on your mother. You could go downstairs with the best mood tomorrow and I guarantee your mom will just start smiling. Like that's the sweetness of a woman, right? With your dad, it's not the same. He'll look at you, be like, you know, he'll just look at you strange and you know, he'll say some bullshit. Have you done the homework? Or oh, you need to help me clean the car or something. You know, you've got to hide the smile from your dad because he'll think that you're being a pussy and that you've got to work harder. But with your mom, if you go downstairs for no explanation, just chuckling to yourself, she'll start smiling next to you as well. It's so sweet, isn't it? And girls you date is the exact same way if they're in their feminine energy. So with all of the advice here, the key advice I'd give you is just make yourself laugh. If you're having a good time, you're already winning. And if the people around you like you, then they will start laughing too. Top link in the description for Adonis Protocol. Make sure you subscribe to this channel so you see these videos on your homepage. Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. Goodbye. Mwah.